So today I've been doing some more tuning on the Falcon, figuring things out. It's all new to me, so we're still working on that idle thing a little bit. I thought, I could play with it a little bit more. So what I did today is which I should have done a long time ago, is adjust my initial timing. So I worked on getting the idle down as decently low as I could get it, and then I was, put the timing light on it, and I'm looking at it, and I couldn't tell you how many degrees of timing it had into it, because it was I couldn't even see it. So it had to have been probably 50, maybe 60. I'm not sure. So I adjusted the distributor down until I got it down, and I eventually got it down to 15, which down to 15 allowed me to close my throttle blade off more and everything, so it worked out better. But it is still very touchy between having the throttle open enough and having the idle air control motor, like that 6 to 10% they want it. You go open on the throttle blades just a little bit, and I don't know, it's just really touchy going back and forth with it. You back the idle off, and then the idle air control motor kicks in, and then it ramps up too high, and then it's really touchy. I really think I still need to go to a smaller throttle body. It would make things a little easier for me, but getting the timing down and the idle even down further. Now I've been idling it at like 950, which I really don't think this thing will probably idle much lower than that. I mean, it's got a pretty big cam in it for a little motor. So, probably, I think when I had the carb on it, I idled it right around 1,000, 1,050-ish, but this thing seems to be it really idles pretty decent at 950. But, so we'll go from there. Took it out for a test drive, seems to be okay. We'll see. I think the more and more I mess with it and more I drive it, the better it'll be. One thing that did happen today, I had it idling for quite a while in the garage here. I almost ended up having a pretty big puddle of oil on the driveway, in the garage. And I can see my return line for the turbo is pretty wet. So it's been dripping off there. I had the problem with it seeping before, but it never really leaked that bad. It just was always a little damp. And you can see, maybe you can't. You can see it over the oil pan and stuff. Just drips down. And eventually, it's been getting all over the tranny and transmission mount. Burns off the exhaust. So I know it's kind of been. I don't know if you can't really see it good or not. Kind of been a weak point of this so far has been that return line. I have to come up with something a little different. Problem is, it's the way it's clocked in there, and then the wastegate and everything is just not a lot of room to route it. So we'll have to. Well, I have to play with maybe making something a little nicer for it, but I'm not really too worried about it right now. Even if it seeps a little oil, makes a mess, but I can clean it up. So we're happy to just be working on the tune right now. So that's what we're going to stick with. So here it goes. I still have some cranking issues. I almost think it's too rich because I have to give it throttle to get it started after it first does a couple tries. Which when you push the throttle down at past 65%, it doesn't enrich anymore, and it's like a flood thing. If the motor gets flooded, you put it past 65% throttle position, and then it'll not give it no fuel, and it clears out and hopefully starts. But you can see right there, just over 1,000, 950-ish. You know, still not warmed up all the way. It's only 163 degrees yet, so you can see the idle air control is at 80 something percent. So as it warms up a little bit, as it wants to run better because it gets warmer, that should start going down, but we'll see. Yeah, I just got back from my first test. Well, let me repeat that, because on the last part of this video, just before this, I said I had drove it after I dialed back the timing, and I didn't. This was the first time I drove it after I readjusted the timing and then got the idle down all the way. And I stalled at out of a side road here, and I don't know if you can see it now, but you can see all the smoke coming up. And when I stalled it at the intersection, all that smoke was rolling out of the hood. I'm thinking, holy crap, what did I do? This isn't good. So what it is all that oil burning off the turbo off that return line. But I don't know, it's got some tuning. It's getting better, you know, that self-learn feature. It definitely drove a lot better than the last time. Less flat spots, just actual driving it, it's not bad. It has some learning to do on decel though. When you get off the gas, it likes to go really lean and start popping and stuff and making noise out the exhaust. But hopefully it learns. I really need to get a laptop for it. And we have a laptop in our house, but it's some old thing that barely works. I mean, it works, but it's got to be plugged in to work. And it would be nice to be able to set it in the car and monitor some things when you're going down the road, and you can't do that with that computer. So I need to invest in one over the winter. It's getting kind of late in the year for now anyway. But that and a smaller throttle body. I still want to go with smaller throttle body. It seems to be working good right now, but it's just, I don't know, the adjustment on it is just, it's touchy, really touchy. And I haven't drove it yet again after I did all this and let it cool all the way down and then drive it. But so we'll see. Here she is out on the road. Also, I should add to that what I just got done saying, which I don't really 100% remember, was this is like 10 minutes later. But I don't have any insurance or plates on it, so I can't be driving it around too much. It's a good thing I live way out here in the boonies, so I can kind of get away with it, I think. But I shouldn't be driving it. So I don't really know how much more I'm going to do to it this year then. I mean, like I just said, I'd like to get the laptop and smaller throttle body, but I'm starting to run into things I need to do around this place before winter and get stuff ready, and I really don't have much time to drive it. I mean, I got two more weeks of September, all of October. I could probably drive it, so even into November. But I mean, I just got my Mustang out 2 weeks ago, and I've only drove it the day that I got it out to bring it over here. And so probably the rest of this afternoon I'm going to get that out, put the tires on it that are supposed to be on it, not the ones I store it on, and maybe take that for a cruise and burn some rubber off them too. You can't have tires, you know, without burning tires, the rubber off of them. So, you know, of course, this is what I say today. So who knows what I'm gonna do? I might do something else with the Falcon. It's got a bad vibration. It's like when you're going down the road. I thought it was a pinion angle problem, and I fixed that last year. But of course, I never drove it since then. Or I can't remember now when I did that. I can't remember if I did that. I think I did that before, after I drove it last with the turbo on it. You know what? I'm not 100% sure. But I got that. The car's just noisy anyway. It's got some rattles and shakes in it. I just cannot figure out where they come from. You know, it would help if it was better motor mounts and stuff. They're rubber, but they're not that rubbery. I think the tranny's like a polyurethane, and then the front ones are a rubber, but they're hard, and there's not a whole lot of rubber there, just enough to cushion it so it doesn't, you know, it's not solid, but it's pretty darn close. And the transmission is just, I don't know what it is about it. It just makes a lot of transmission noise. I don't know why it amplifies on this car so much, you know, but it does. So that'll probably be it for this video, and I'll probably move on to something else. So see ya.